Let's go! George MacIntyre.
We ride with G-Mac.
We are breaking down his epic spring game performance. We'll talk about Merklinger at the end as well. And that Nico story. It's about to get nasty for him. I'm sorry, Vol fans. But it is important before we show you this bomb again to show the head placement like you see pretty often in a Tennessee offense. Quarterback starts off looking left to help move the safety, and then he decides to work all the way to the right. So this has been a major issue with volunteer pass protection, in particular on the offensive line with their offensive tackles. They have a tendency to lean once they get to this portion of their pass set. And when you begin to lean, I can't see exactly who this is because of the footage. It looks to be 66. I don't think that's Lance Hurd right there. When you lean like that, you get beat, basically, because you're putting way too much weight over your hips, and it creates a bad center of gravity. So would MacIntyre have still gotten this football off? Yes. Everything would have needed to be sped up, but it would have affected the throw at the very least. Now let's actually break down the throw itself. So this is honestly a really, really good read by MacIntyre. You can see Tennessee is in a split field coverage. There is a vertical, so the safety has to run with the vertical. So now you're just hoping that this corner stays put right here, and once he sees that, it's bombs away. Okay, so this corner right here should have actually ran with this vertical, and he doesn't. He's beat deep, and it's just a good throw. Now, he had to wait on it just a little bit, but it was good, especially for a true freshman, okay? And, yeah, there you go. This is just a simple split zone action. So the first thing that makes this very interesting is the splits of the wide receiver. So man-to-man, man-to-man, and man-to-man out here. So in theory, you're going to be outnumbered in this box. So running the football isn't too advantageous, but the guy's flying off the edge. So you pull it, you get the split zone tight end action, and it's an easy walk-in touchdown. Okay? It's so freaking good. Now, let's just say Tennessee decided to actually run the football. This honestly is really good run blocking up the middle. I just can't see who the actual offensive linemen are. So it's good offense. You see some bodies on the ground right there. So you love to see that as well. In freaking insane. This catch right here by Radarious Jackson. I mean, goodness gracious. I'm serious. I am not sure if I am going to see a catch better than this one, period, this next year in all of college football. This is definitely the best catch in Neyland since that diving Ramel Keaton grab. Who remembers that one versus Florida just a few years ago? All right, so let's break this down yet again. Once again, these wide splits are very, very, very fascinating. What makes this in particular interesting is you can see that the safety is on the hash over here. So if you're going to actually throw this football, you're going to really need the safety to either run center field or bite in on the play action fake. So you can see there that this safety does go center field. This safety goes into the box. So once he sees that, all right, you see he's eyeing the safety. He knows he could fit in a go ball over here to the right side. All right. Now, before we get to the actual throw, let's break down this protection. Is it a little bit better this time around compared to the last go ball? It is. Not only is it better, it's honestly very, very, very good. Okay. So you can see right here that Tim Banks, you rarely actually see this in a spring game. He is doing a cross dog blitz. So you're blitzing through here, and you have the linebacker coming around, right? Nobody's better at this than the Georgia Bulldogs, and it's also delayed, right? So they're not just flying off the football. That makes it really hard for an offensive line to pick it up. But notice the tight end picks up the first blitzer, and the running back picks up the other blitzer. And yeah, guys are peeling off of blocks, but this is really, really, really good stuff. Now you just need a quarterback to make the big-time throw. You could see the safety is center field. And, man, this throw is really good. I mean, look at that ball location right there. The second thing that makes this very interesting is the nuance before actually making this grab. So, over on Power Hour NFL, we've been doing Tom Brady breakdowns. We've broken down every single Super Bowl, or at least 5 of them. We're doing a whole series on all 10 of them. And Troy Brown was actually called for an offensive pass interference for this in the final drive versus the Carolina Panthers. This is never called. Receivers should do this every single time. Just a small little baby push right there to create some separation, okay? It's called maybe 1 out of every 5 times. So the nuance of actually swiping this player's arms down to give you some room right here is ridiculous. And then this catch, I mean, holy crap, that is insane, okay? I'm an LSU guy. This is Odell-ish, because with Odell, he didn't have to actually fend off a defender right on him. I mean, that is literally one of the best catches I've ever seen a college football player make. It just kind of lost in the shuffle because there is a whole lot going on. And nobody's going nuts. I would be going crazy. Absolutely wild that catch just happened. Come on, Tennessee fans. It's an orange and white game. Give me something.
Today's landscape of college football is different than what it has been. It's unfortunate, just the situation and where we're at with Nico. I want to thank him for everything that he's done since he's gotten here. That's as a recruit to who he was as a player, and how he competed inside of the building. And so a great appreciation for that side of it. Obviously, we're moving forward as a program without him. I said it to the guys today. There's no one that's bigger than the Power T.
Boom! I'm looking at you. Yes, you Tennessee fans. I'm going to tell you straight up that Nico screwed you guys over. I don't care. Both sides, BS, whatever. I understand that there's many out there that believe it was Nico's camp that put him in this bad of a spot. Before I give you my thoughts on that, I want to shout out our presenting partners of today's video, Fast Draft Fantasy. If you want to draft Dylan Sampson like I've done on Fast Draft, he is actually flying way under the radar in some of their rookie drafts. Sign up today. Dylan Sampson could win you $50,000. I'm serious. Use my promo code Carter. It helps go a long way. Okay. First, this is not a anti-Merklinger video. There's just no Merklinger video that I could find. So I've focused in on George MacIntyre. The only thing I'll say about MacIntyre that has nothing to do, and once again, it is just a spring game. There's a lot of backups, all that stuff, is I was shocked at how far he fell in the rankings. I mean, he was the clear-cut number 2 guy behind Bryce Underwood for a good bit of the recruiting process. Guys like Keelan Russell jumped him, Tavian St. Clair. They went to Alabama and Georgia, or Alabama and Ohio State, respectively. But, it is what it is at this juncture. So I am a big GMAC guy, and I do think he could be your starter by year 2. I don't want either of them starting, though. In the modern college game, the older quarterbacks rule. So hopefully you guys can find somebody in the transfer portal. Now, I owe each and every one of you an apology as well, because I was one of Nico's biggest advocates, right? I was a guy that wanted him to play as a true freshman, and it turned out he really wasn't that good. I don't know exactly why, because, he was given all this talent, but he was very much overwhelmed last season. He only had one 300-yard passing game in a Josh Heupel offense, which just isn't good enough. I know the offensive tackle play was bad. I know the wide receiver play, in particular Squirrel White, he was a big disappointment. But, Nico, a lot of you have eyes. A lot of you watch my film studies from last year. He just really wasn't all that great. So him wanting a raise after that is just insane to me. Now, I do put a lot of this on him personally. You could go to your camp and say, I'm happy with where I am. I don't want to go anywhere. And they got to listen to you. Okay, there's plenty of recruiting stories where parents wanted a player to go elsewhere. Landon Collins, everybody in his camp wanted him to go to LSU instead of Alabama. Everyone in Alex Collins' camp did not want him going to Arkansas. There's plenty of stories like this. Stamp your feet down if you really wanted to stay at Tennessee and go to Tennessee. And now you got all these stories that Tennessee media is not holding back of, you being a pain to deal with in many different ways. So, look, a lot of this is on him. For a school and a fan base, and I know this because I am not a Tennessee fan. I have been able to do Tennessee breakdowns for years now, and we have been fairly successful doing so here on Power Hour SEC. You guys have taken me under your wing. There are plenty of you. There's actually 2 of you in particular that have offered to actually travel me to go to a game with you in Neyland next season, and we're trying to work that out. I really, really love the Tennessee fan base. You guys really are what you guys are cracked up to be, and I've shared my story of, I grew up a big Peyton Manning fan and all that stuff. And Nico just spat in the face of all of you. All of you. They defended your average quarterback play last year. They defended you during the middle of all these legal issues, millions of dollars being spent at your defense during the playing controversy or whatever. I don't know the actual number. Millions might be a little high. But whatever the case may be, Tennessee fans had your back at every single corner. And if you wanted to go play in a new offense or do something else, just say it, bro. Just say it. He really, really stuck a knife in every single one of your backs. And it's time to put some responsibility at the feet of the kids. Yes, his camp plays a big role in this. And by the way, I don't work at On3. I don't know who Pete Nakos is, but he was getting some nasty threats by Nico's camp, releasing stuff that were outright lies. And guess what? Nico's dad or that Cordell guy, whatever his name is, they have no repercussions of that. They're not going to face anything. So I really feel for Pete Nakos there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this film study breakdown, and we will talk to you soon. Bang some other fun Tennessee videos for you to check out. And it's Power Hour SEC. Boom! Tonight, we are doing chicken enchiladas. Let's go.